Continuing with our novel, The LEKKI Headmaster. So this is chapter 7. We have been on a series where we are reading from chapter 1 to the end of the book. So this is chapter 7, and we are going to read and review this chapter. We are doing this for you to help you to prepare. You already know that this book is compulsory, so let's follow and see what happens in chapter 7. The title of this chapter is The Ritualists. It's a very interesting chapter. I've read it and it's something very interesting. Of course, JAMB will also ask you questions from this chapter. If you watch this video from beginning to the end, remember, I'm going to give you free past questions. If you need me to give you free past questions, I'll give it to you. If you need me to give you syllables on the 4 subjects we'll be writing, it will also be given to you free of charge. If you also want the book LEKKI Headmaster, if you want me to send it to you, I can also send it to you at the end of this video. So let's just watch. If you have not watched the videos we did from chapter 1 to this point, also let me know so that I can share it with you, so that we begin to follow chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter. Our goal in this our YouTube channel, Noble Tutorials, is to ensure that all of you following this channel will score at least 300 and above. I want you to claim it in the comment section. You will score at least 300 and above in your JAMB. That is why I've been seriously tutoring you and mentoring you. Let's look at chapter 7 of LEKKI Headmaster. Chapter 7, the title is Ritualist. We read now. Beppo joined Stardom Schools after a stint at Bisway Group of Schools, located on the outskirts of Lagos. Of course, you should know who Beppo is by now. He wondered if he could ever forget the clash he had with the Bisway management regarding an error he spotted in the school's name. As the senior English teacher, he had pointed out that the name ought to be Bisway Group of Schools, not Group of School. He noted that the phrase group of implied there were more than one school. Therefore, the singular noun was incorrect. Sir. So Beppo was not talking to the owner of the school. In that Bisway school, that was the school he had taught before he got work to teach at Stardom Schools, where he was now teaching in Lekki, Lagos, right? So he was talking to the owner of Bisway School. Sir, it is like saying a group of men when we mean a group of men, he explained to the director, Mr. Egimeko. Or like saying a collection of bags or a bevy of birds instead of collection of bags and a bevy of birds. Which one is bevy? Marco asks, as if that was the only aspect of Beppo's argument that interested him. It means a large group of people and things, like a herd of cows or not, and not a herd of cow. Remember, you should pay attention to this grammatical technicality, because these are the areas that JAMB will ask you questions from. Remember also that on our channel I've been giving you questions that JAMB will ask. I've been giving you an expo of the questions that JAMB will ask in this book. If you have not started watching that series, we have done questions 1 to question 120 in 4 videos. So if you need me to send it to you, I will send it to you too. I've been giving you expected questions from this book, LEKKI Headmaster. The director asks the learned linguist. Who is the learned linguist here? Mr. Beppo Adewale, as he often called him, for the observation. The director thanked him. Then he asked what exactly the senior English teacher wanted him to do. He knew where Beppo was headed, but he feigned ignorance. What does it mean to feign ignorance? To act or to pretend as if he did not know. In the recess of his mind, Mr. Meko actually laughed derisively because he could not contemplate changing his school's name in any way. Firstly, he reasoned that was the name on all the school's facilities and documents. Secondly, it was the name registered at the Corporate Affairs Commission and the Ministry of Education. The most important lesson I can The most important reason I cannot change the name of my school, Meko explained to Beppo, is that the name was divinely inspired. If I will put it another way, I will say it has a spiritual undertone. I believe you understand because you are not a kid. What has group of school got to do with the quality education we impact here? Do you know how well my students have been performing in external exams? Talk less of internal examinations. Group of school. Are students complaining? No. Are parents complaining? No. Are the external examiners complaining? No. Is the government complaining? No. So, Mr. Beppo, the Englisher, let's leave the matter as it is. I know there is no word like Englisher. Just joking with you. Ironically, there is, sir. The teacher, that is Beppo, struggled to correct his boss, even if he had to overlook the error in talk less. He knew what the director ought to have said was, let alone. So the director was supposed to say, let alone instead of talk less of. You know, we always say talk less of, but the right one is let alone. You don't mean it. Meko exclaimed. I do. It's even in the dictionaries. English refers to a person who translates from a foreign language into English. Wow. That means I am almost an Englisher too, the director said and added, consider that I even use the word offhand. You can see the director is making another mistake. You don't say offhand. You're supposed to say offhead. Beppo skipped a breath as the erroneous phrase offhand struck him, but he did not think the atmosphere was right to begin another round of correction. Besides, he felt a fair grammatical blunder which the director ought to have accepted most readily was being downplayed. Beppo thought, what was the big day in changing group of school to group of schools? Remember, that was the bone of contention initially. Firstly, the management could start by affecting the change in the school signboards on the premises, then move on to all files, books, etc. It could then proceed to the Corporate Affairs Commission, the ministry, and the other relevant bodies. If you want me to send you free past question and free syllables and even this book, just watch this video to the end, because at the end I will share with you how I will send you those things free of charge. Remember also to watch the videos we have done on chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and all the chapters of this book, Lekki Headmaster. If you want to know how to get it, just go to our YouTube channel, go to playlists. You will see the playlist on Lekki Headmaster. Click on it and you will see a mirrored all the videos we have done on this book, including chapter by chapter reading and review, and the questions we have done, questions that will come out, and also other things we have done on this book, Lekki Headmaster. Remember, you are not permitted to score less than 300 in your JAMB if you follow our channel. That's why you need to be serious. That's why you need to watch all the videos we drop for you. Okay. After the unsuccessful encounter, Beppo again raised the matter with the boss a couple of times because the grammatical palaver was happening in his subject territory. You know, he was the English teacher. But something happened that finally made Beppo shut his mouth. During a meeting of the school's parent-teachers association, a parent raised the matter, backed by some others. As she spoke, the director fixed his eyes on Beppo. That means a parent started talking about the school bearing group of school instead of group of schools. Immediately the meeting was over, the director summoned Beppo to his office and accused him of plotting to destroy the school through his to-know mentality. Beppo explained that he never did what the director had in mind, that is, tell the parents about the error in the school's name. This thing that is written here is a Yoruba. I don't know how to mention it. Okay, so Beppo did all he could to convince the director that he never discussed the matter with the parents. So the owner of the school was thinking that it was Beppo that told the parents to raise the matter in the PTA of changing the school's name from group of schools to, from group of school to group of schools. He even swore, touching the crucifix that hung on from his neck, It was Beppo's charismatic way of declaring, "I am saying the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth," whenever he desperately needed to make a point. So whenever he wanted to show that he was being honest, he always touched the crucifix on his neck. Beppo was a Catholic, a Christian Catholic. You can choose between working here or criticizing the name of the school that pays you your salary. So that's what the director, Mr. Meko, was saying. Beppo's experience at Bisway was quite tumultuous. Remember, Bisway is the school that he was teaching before he came to Stardom School. But it was not on account of wanting to correct the group of school blunder that he left. He walked away voluntarily because of a matter he considered ungodly. He was not a great churchgoer. All the same, he believed he was close to God. When his wife was still in Nigeria, she used to lure or coerce him to go to church on Sundays. You know, some women are the ones that always drag their husbands to church. He often left her behind at the auditorium, as he had a habit of disappearing as soon as the service, that is the church service, ended. Seri is the name of Beppo's wife, was a member of 3 groups in the church and often attended post-service meetings. Beppo was originally a Catholic, but the woman convinced him to join her Pentecostal Truth Tellers mission. The name of Beppo's wife's church was Pentecostal Truth Tellers Mission. I hope you are noting these things down. When I send you this book, you can also now read it very well so that you can note these things. As soon as he relocated to UK, however, he returned to his Catholic faith where he felt at home. It was 2:30 a.m. Beppo is now trying to take us back to what actually made him to leave the school. The almost pin drop silence in Ijokuta showed a nature maintains a disciplined order, no matter the place or time, right? Here was a Lagos suburb, very busy during the day and through the night. Now it was calm, quiet and safe for occasional whistle by some security guards. Beppo lay on his bed in his room at the Bestway staff quarters. So the school he was teaching was a boarding school, so they had boarders and the teachers were living inside the school. He had forced himself to bed at 12 a.m. Right? Let me skip this paragraph. You read it up when you read the book. He would toast a couple. He rose from bed and headed for the refrigerator in the corner of the room. Let me also skip this paragraph. Yet Beppo noticed that 200 meters or more away from the school, lights were still on. So Beppo woke up around that midnight and noticed that the light in the school went off, surprisingly. He was still awake, so he noticed what was happening. As the post was lingered, Beppo thought he saw something move in the dark. He started seeing things moving in the dark. It looked human. Then he saw another and another and yet another. What could there be? He studied the shapes intently. Remember, the title of this topic, of this chapter in this novel, is Ritualist. So we are about to see those ritualists in the school. As the movement continued, there were humans. It became clearer what the mystery was. Of course, there were not ghosts. There were humans. But who could there be? He stared harder through the darkness. His eyes were not betraying his mind. A torch flashed through the void. Beppo's confusion thickened. It was 2:51 a.m. in the night. 2:51, just 9 minutes to 3 in the midnight. No student was expected to be out at such an unholy hour. No teacher either or resident. As his eyes attuned to the darkness, Beppo picked out 5 men. He also made out a large whitish thing moving alongside the men. It was a cow. So these men in the school at that time of the night, 5 of them were carrying a white cow. Apparently, one of the men was holding a leash. That is, they were holding the cow now. Beppo, glued at the spot, watched in amazement. The men stopped. 5 minutes later, 2 men appeared. Another 2 men appeared to join them. It seemed initially that they had initially walked out from Mother Earth. Not so. The duo had occasionally actually climbed up of a pit. There was a brief moment of inactivity. So this man had dug a pit in the school. Then the other 5 men brought a white cow in the middle of the night. What could they be doing? You that is watching, what do you think is going on in this chapter? Remember, the title of this chapter is The Ritualists. So let's keep watching. What could they be doing? What could they be discussing? 2 of the men moved to the rear of the whitish thing. No sooner had they positioned themselves than the beast began to inch towards the pit. What is going on? Beppo thought, mystified. They certainly are not about to bury a cow, he thought, bewildered. He turned swiftly from the window. He grabbed his crucifix, hung it on his neck. T-shirt lay beside his pillow. He put it on, complementing the night trouser he wore. Beppo shoved his hand under the bed, retrieved a broad-headed double-edged machete, and was soon descending the stairs. Who are you? A voice out of the darkness questioned as Beppo walked with resolve, yet cautiously toward the figures. If his ears did not play any pranks on him, he was sure the voice was familiar. I asked, who are you? The voice repeated. So they were not asking him. So he said, director. So he was a director in the school. Beppo exclaimed, astonished, director, are you burying? Okay, he was asking, director, are you burying the cow alive? What? Who is this? One of the men barked. The indignation, that is anger, in the voice was unmistakable. Will you keep your mouth shut? Another man ordered simultaneously, and get away from here immediately before we make you regret. So what was actually happening is that these men were burying a white cow in the middle of the school. You again, Mr. Beppo, what business brings you out at this hour? Is this the students' hostel you are supposed to be minding? The boss asked. So the owner of the school was actually with them. Wow. As the director spoke, the men quickly turned their attention away from the intruder. Resolutely, they hasted to finish the grim task, pushing and pulling harder. So they were now pushing and pulling the cow into the pit. No, director, you can't. This is cruel. This is animalistic, ungodly. You shouldn't bury that thing alive, Beppo affirmed. Get lost. How is that your problem? Are we burying a human being? The director fumed. Even if it is not a human being, it is living, director, it is wickedness, inhuman. A man who all the while had locked in the dark, unseen, approached Beppo from behind, club in hand. He raised the weapon and brought it down on Beppo's right wrist. The machete fell to the ground as a sharp pain coursed through Beppo's limb. 2 other men rushed towards him. There was a brief struggle, and soon Beppo was on his back. Even on the darkness, he could make out the shape of the machete positioned menacingly above his head. Handle him gently. The director said, Oga, no, sir. I said, no, sir. One of the men replied defiantly, then added, if he wants to go down with the cow, why should we stop him? So they wanted to kill him too and bury him with the cow for attempting to come out. Beppo recognized the voice. It was the man who had threatened, get away from here immediately before we make you regret. He knew it was time he disappeared from the scene. The director pacified the angry accomplices and helped the senior English teacher back on his feet. He led Beppo back to the room from where earlier he had stormed out like a crusader, then returned to finish up the dark assignments. Can you imagine? So what do you think from what you are learning? What do you think is happening here? Remember to watch this video from here to the end, as I will give you free past questions and free syllables, right? I want you to also be serious. Remember, I said you are not permitted to score below 300. Everybody watching this video and watching the videos in our channel must score at least 300 in this coming JAMB. That is why we have been seriously teaching you, posting videos. If you believe it, I want you to claim it in the comment section and type, I claim it. Right? Claim it and it will happen as we keep reading and studying. Right? Okay. So this is what is happening in this school. it appears the man is a ritualist. Let us go also to another story of a ritualist that happened. Okay, he had heard tales of area ritual carried out by some school owners and patrons of other businesses. So Beppo before now had had the case of some school owners and owners of some businesses that are ritualists, that use rituals to move their business. An example is, shortly after he concluded his N.H.S, he and a colleague had set up a neighborhood school. Remember in the other chapter we reviewed, we talked about that before Beppo became a principal at Stardom School, there was a time he owned a school, right, with somebody. They rented a 2-bedroom flat and Fruitful Future School was born. The name of the school Beppo owned was Fruitful Future School. The dream unfolded slowly, okay? So the school continued growing and growing and growing. One of the things he did, the trick he did was, he was always telling the children to teach their parents a topic at home. So he believed that as the children were teaching the topics to their parents, the parents were motivated and they knew that the school was doing well. So gradually, the number of pupils in the school grew. Mr. Ogo, a parent visited him in his office one Monday. What did the man come to tell Beppo? He came to tell Beppo to do some rituals in the school. And what was the ritual? He said Mr. Ogo was not thinking about advice. Beppo could not believe the close of the meeting. The parents had come offering to perform a rite or ritual that would supernaturally flood the school with pupils in no time. So the man told Beppo to perform some rituals, give him 35,000 naira. If you give me 35,000, I will come and sprinkle some grain of corn in your school. And after I sprinkle it, many students will now come and register. Can you imagine? So people actually performed the rituals, a lot of them, in their school. But Beppo refused. Unfortunately, his school eventually collapsed. Unfortunately, Beppo's future, what's the name of the school again? Can you remember? Tell me in the comment section. Unfortunately, the school later shut down, right? When I send you this book, you are going to read more of what happened in chapter 7. But this basically a review of what happened. 10 years after that man, Mr. Ogo, has come to talk to him about performing rituals. He eventually watched a television program where the man was caught. The man promised, Mr. Ogo had promised a woman, a barren woman, that she will make her pregnant. But after 9 years, the woman did not get pregnant. So he invited the woman to his house and actually killed the woman. He was caught. The woman had paid him 9 million naira. He even killed the woman, and eventually he was caught. So all the stories about rituals, people performing charm in their business. Mr. Beppo had actually encountered a lot of them. Now, for you to get the past question, just do 3 things. In our channel, you can see a thanks, a place for you to say thanks. If you have been enjoying the videos on our channel, this is the right time for you to click on thanks and say thanks to us. The next thing you should do is like this video if you have not liked it. Like this video, then most importantly, share this video. Just click on share, copy the link and share. Then again, subscribe, very important. So click on subscribe in our channel. And remember, I say click on thanks, then click on subscribe. Turn on all notifications. When you click on subscribe, then after clicking on subscribe, then come under the comment section and say I have subscribed. Come under the comment section and type I have subscribed. Once I see you type I have subscribed, I will send you all the past questions you need in the 4 subjects. I will also send you all the syllables you need. I will send you this in free of charge. If you want to also buy this book, Lekki Headmaster, from me, you can also let me know. It will also be sent to you. So share, say thanks, subscribe, and comment I have subscribed. Remember to also claim it. If you claim that you will score at least 300 plus in your JAMB, also claim it in the comment section. Please, who will summarize this chapter for us? Can you do a quick summary of everything I've said in this chapter? If you can do it for us, also do it. Thank you so much. Go ahead and watch this video. I have attached a video for you in the screen. Just click on it and begin to watch now.